Hey, I'm back again. I hope you all just had a wonderful, delicious weekend. Welcome again to In My Car podcast with your boy, the favorite, the most, the host, the most. I don't know if I'm a host, but I'm back again. So, today I want to talk about one thing that's happening in the country. The president has said his piece yesterday during his speech, giving out 5 pointers on how we're going to deal with illegal migration within the country. And he spoke about how we should not incite violence and also how to be good citizens, and also another thing is to show Ubuntu across all cultural groups, races, and all people within the country. But also he did acknowledge the fact that the system somehow has flops, and it has flopped before and it continues to do so. So that being said, admitting there's flops, there is ways in which syndicates get away with things. He mentioned the fact that there's some other people who are foreign nationals who prove their citizenship, so to say, using car dealerships, in a sense, they buy cars, and for the fact that they bought cars, that there's a way of legitimizing their foreign status or their status within the country. So that's a very tricky one for me. I will investigate and come back with more with how do they get away with that. But let's talk about the 5 pointers which the president spoke about, which is one, the issue of Home Affairs. We all know what Home Affairs in King Azabo. We all know what Home Affairs. There's a lot of corruption. We all know what there's ways people get documents such as visa. There's such a way which people get passport or IDs or even birth certificates or any legal documents within Home Affairs through corruption, through a backdoor. But also there is also a syndicate that specifically deals with forging of documents, which seem legit on the naked eye until you put a microscope underneath those documents and you find they're actually not legal. And we've also had over the few weeks or few months there was a syndicate that actually this was covered by Cat Blanche, which there was a syndicate that actually reuse people's documents without even those people crossing the border. So how it works is that they give taxi drivers or bus drivers who does the long distance traveling to your outside countries, so Mozambique or Zimbabwe and whatever. So they give them these documents prior to them expiring, let's say maybe a week or a month before they expire. They give these documents to these drivers or someone within the bus, and then this person will go to the border as they're about to cross the border, and they will stamp these documents as if this person crossed the border, and then they're gonna do a second stamp again that will show which this person came back to the country legit. So without even the person crossing up the border, someone with an envelope full of passports or full of documents that needs to be stamped, and there's a bribery there that is given, of course, to the guys who does that at the cross-border office. So this was captured live by Channel Branch. So there's the issues of course, corruption happening within the system, but also the issue of our borders are so porous. There's no order there. People find ways to cross the border one way or another. Speaking from experience, I can testify to that. It's just so easy to cross the border, even if you're going to Mozambique or like Zimbabwe, especially those two countries. But anyways, it's not just those two countries that are a matter for concern right now, right? So, with the 5 pointers, the president said which they're gonna do with Home Affairs. One, they're gonna get away with the green IDs. They're gonna cancel those eventually. The system it's rolling where they will introduce the smart IDs and Home Affairs members will be able to have those biometric data on their smart devices, which I assume smart tablets, and also the issue of the card, smart ID cards. That one also people are encouraged to apply for the smart ID cards. I've already got mine a few years ago. Before they even announced that they would get away with the green IDs. So the reason behind the green IDs apparently is as mentioned by the president, is that most people get away with fraudulent documents using the smart green ID, because you can just simply remove the photo and put in a photo there, you know what I mean, and then eventually will become Tawang Subanyoni. And the picture it's you, but in actual fact, all of the details is fraudulent. So one is to get away with crime and the fraudulent that is happening. Two, we mentioned the issue of there's the issue of sponsorships and working around it to make sure everyone who operates within that space is permitted, and anyone who's doing business in the country is permitted as well. So it brings us back to the issue of unemployment, which everyone who is being employed should be permitted foreign worker, or should be a permitted South African worker, right age, you know. We have to get away with the underage, but also in terms of us getting into the right mind of things, is that there is the many cities that foreign nationals occupy, whether illegal immigrants or legal immigrants, that most South Africans have not willingly wanted to venture into those spaces. So either way, there is a need, I would assume, for the economy to continue. There is a need for a balance in terms of having foreign nationals who are willing to venture to certain sectors that usual national South Africans wouldn't want to venture into, and however that economy thrives because there is a large number of foreign nationals. I know for a fact, like in terms of maybe also again the motorbike industry, which is to deliver food and other parcels, is well populated by foreign nationals, and you won't find too many South Africans there in that industry. But that industry is thriving because of such number of foreign nationals. I'm not saying they are illegal. Yes, there are some whom the papers have expired, but I know for a fact those companies keep a strict rule in terms of paperwork, because they're also being vetted by SARS, they're also being vetted by Home Affairs, and the recent announcement by the president will definitely show be looking to correct that document so that everyone within the company is proper vented. And also another thing is the issue of the implementation, because we've heard the president before promising us to go to within 6 months the issue of sponsor shops or illegal sponsor shops will be no more. We haven't seen much of movement there. And also we've seen the president promise us a lot of stuff and which have not been implemented yet. And also in terms of getting away with the issue of uh, uh, underemployment within the youth. That one will also haven't seen much movement there. But also, just to elaborate more on what needs to be done now, is that the fact that one, we need to have a society that is working together. We need to have a society that continues to push and advocate for what they believe, and also we need to make sure which when it comes to the issue of illegal immigration, we don't turn xenophobic, but we also stand for what is right, and we if we march within the certain rules of the law, and also we make sure that we involve law enforcement to make sure that they clamp down on these illegal immigration, illegal activities. As we've seen so many videos on social media, even in the city of Joburg, where the mayor and some other JMPD enforcement members came through this building where there was a massive shacks built in inside one of the abandoned buildings there. So we need to make sure that law enforcement is part of the operations. You will be arresting people who are involved. At least if we are taking things one day at a time, we'll be able to get to the bottom of this. We'll be able to force government to adjust some laws, and like now the president is feeling the heat through the recent actions of will believe much and much. So let's just unite together and stand together in that way. But my worry is the implementation of what the president has said will take rather far longer a period than what it is expected. It's not just a simple matter of snap and everything's just happening. So first thing first, we need to deal with home affairs. We need to capacitate home affairs in terms of technology, in terms of personnel, to do with processing of documents, processing of legal immigrants, processing of visas, processing of asylum documents. And also on the other side, we need to capacitate your community policing forum. We need to capacitate your CPS, your SANDF. We need to capacitate your security companies. We need to capacitate, let me say, security in general, with all these other stakeholders that falls under law enforcement. And also we need to capacitate uh, our social development. We need to also capacitate, our business forums in terms of them being able to allow workers within municipalities, within provincials, within nationals to be able to facilitate these visits into businesses and local establishments within municipalities which are into business, to be able to verify documents, to be able to verify working conditions, be able to verify if there's any uh, illegal immigrants in those workspaces, and if there's foreign nationals, of course, there will always be. But what matters is that the paperwork is correct. So we just need to be hopeful as a nation for now and keep our fingers crossed that some action will start to take place in some areas where it's actually hot, like in Durban, Joburg. I would see much action as we've seen on the news. There's still people outside the Home Affairs offices in KZN where they're still looking for some assistance, afraid to go back to their establishments, to their homes. So let's just keep our fingers crossed. Guti, the president will, however, maybe fast track some of these processes so we can start to seeing actions. But what are your thoughts on what the president has talked about yesterday? Let me know in the comment sections. Bye.